you just sit with me for a moment and let me talk to you about being a hunter? Let me make my case, okay? Go grab you a sociable of your choice, okay? Sit down here, and I'll just set this up real nice. Look at that. Where are we at right now, right? That's good. Okay, go get your consumable. And you come back here, and we sit this out, and we talk it out on being a hunter. Okay, let's just talk about you as a hunter and what that may or may not look like. Because a lot of you are coming back from a long ways, right? And you don't have friends that play WoW anymore. They're long gone. And you got no one to work with. So why not some crazy guy on YouTube? Because who else you got, motherfucker? No one. So I've got you right here. Let's just talk through this. It was here in the Tanan jungle that I last did play my beloved range survival. That which was taken from me. I loved range survival so much. Range survival was my gateway drug into my WoW addiction. I miss it. And I just can't express to you how much I hate that they took it away. Every time I see melee survival, it makes me feel like a fucking bulimic a week before prom. There's some green text for you. Why don't you talk about that at the next community council meeting? And with the new explosive shot and the new serpent sting, it could just be... And I mean, and that's out there, right? But and look at where we're at in reality, though. I mean, we're not even getting to pick our pets anymore. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This is what happens. See, this is all of you who worry about, I wish I had a main. No, you don't, motherfucker. You live that alt dream where you just play everything and it's all eclectic and you can just roll around because you get stuck on one and you get treated like I've been. It is emotionally scarring. For those of you who hate change, the talent system's different enough to make it uncomfortable. I think I can iron you out here pretty quick. So if we just pull it up, on the left side over here is your hunter talents. These are abilities you can take or choose between. This tree is the same no matter what spec you're playing. Beast Mastery, Marksmanship, Survival. This tree looks exactly like this every time. Over here on the right is the spec tree where you pick kind of how you want the spec to play. Just looking at the Beast Mastery one, I mean, I'll let you guys go through this. I just copy whatever the top people do and do that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. And I'm for fuck sure not going to sit here and read the abilities to you for fucking 3 hours. So I just copy what the top people do and do that. But if you're someone that really does play with talents and wants to try all these different specs, some of the options really boil down to, there's the Papa Pet spec, which I fucking hate, where basically it's based all on this dire beast, where, you know, you pop and you summon more and basically you overwhelm them with a pile of porcupines or whatever the fuck. I don't like pocket pets. For me, the BM fantasy should be much more based in you taming or working along with some savage animal that you've worked with and changed and formed and trained and formed this bond with, and y'all hunt together to take down shit. That's why I don't like all the dinosaurs and shit. I mean, I'm not opposed to a big dinosaur ability. You know what would be cool? It's kind of like how DK summoned that Big Murphy. What's his name? What's that? The bomb? A-bomb? Yeah, Big Murph. Love that ability. So maybe hunters could summon that, but for your day-to-day animal, I wish it had to be an animal out in the wild that you worked with. I think the pet system needs a revamp. We'll go over it here in a little bit. But I don't like the Papa Pet build. I don't like flinging pets at people. I like to be the hunter with my pet. I do like having a pet spec. I think it's a lot of fun. I can't get enough of it. There's a kill command spec in here where you basically buff up barb shot and barb shot resets, which feed into more kill command resets. And then you pick over here where you kind of... So over here you pick abilities that are kill command oriented. And over here you pick abilities that are kill command and barb shot oriented. And that combination turns your pet into basically a little Fury Warrior. You're going to spam Kill Command. If you played a Fury Warrior in Shadowlands, you're going to spam Kill Command like you spammed Raging Blow. This is a spam spec now. And I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, this is based upon all of your very, very, very vigorous feedback, and this is what you guys want. It's not at all headed my direction. I mean, there's some things in here that are all right, but I'm not a huge fan of Papa Pet. I'm not even a huge fan of Double Pet. Again, BM to me should be an intimate thing, and I think this throwing pets out of my pockets at people is just fucking weird. So let's pull up the marksmanship one too real quick. So as you'll see, you start with aim shot. Again, this left side is the same every time. And just like, whereas in BM, you would pick probably more of these Killer Instinct, Alpha Predator, maybe Steel Trap kind of abilities, possibly even Stampede. Again, most of what this matters is tuning, right? They try to make it like you have a choice, but if one ability sucks and one's awesome. So, you know, Blizzard can keep changing the talent system, but until they commit to really trying to tune their game consistently and staying with it for longer than a week or two, these new abilities are all going to come down to what they decide gets to be powerful. And that's typically what it's always been. It's never been a problem with the trees. It's always been a problem with the balancing. And they've always done a good job of making great classes. It's just they can't keep them in line. I'm not even going to look at melee survival. I don't want to play a melee class. There's way better melee classes to play than melee survival. And the only way it ever gets popular is if they just completely overtune it. I think the animations are awful. I don't think it's well thought out. It's got bombs and poisons and bleeds, and it's just all over the place. I think they should really flesh it out. I think it could be something awesome. And I'm not some purist. I'm not even saying you got to go all the way back to ranged. I'm just saying, dude, give it a little attention. You can create a whole new evoker class, but with these polearm animations, oh my god! And I'm the bad guy. I'm the salty one. It's like, have a little standard. It's just not worth it. The class, it's just not good. It's like you took pieces of a bunch of classes. It's like a reverse DK. And it could be awesome. I mean, I would love to have one spec that wasn't cooldown based. And if you could make a melee survival spec that was just about carving people up and getting them bleeding and poisoned and leaking, and it was just this like melee dot spec, or hell, you could make a bursty version too. I'm not even opposed to that, but I mean, let's do it. Let's go. Let's get in here. Let's flesh this thing out, and let's make it awesome. But you guys are just keep half-assing it. So if you're going to half-ass it, then let's just go back to range survival. If you're going to dress it up and we're going to get some dual wield and some cool abilities, and you're really going to give it an identity as like this hybrid class, that could be cool too. But then get to that. But this half-ass shit is getting old. And I'm not a fan. So forgive me for having standards. All right, let's just swing by the stables real quick and talk about the new pet stuff. So basically, based upon all your community feedback and all of your forum posts and all of that stuff that they went through, they've decided to do absolutely fucking nothing and just copy and paste the Shadowlands pet system into Dragonflight. So, which means if you PvP and you need the Mortal Strike buff, you're going to need to either get a hyena. But if you don't want that hyena to sit and sleep from all the druids, you can get one of these undead raptors. So we're back going to see a lot of these in PvP again, because that's what Blizzard chose for you. On the PvE end of things, just leveling, remember that if you want Bloodlust, Primal Rage, you need a Ferocity pet. They're the ones that have that. And for tanking pets, even though Tenacity specs have this 7% increased maximum health and this survival of the fittest, they're actually not very good tank specs compared to this chunky fella right here. Look at him. Big woolly. Oh, what this guy did for me in Torghast. Mwah! We took some lumps in there, didn't we, big fella? You did good. But they have this special ability inside of their tree called, now see, he gets this thick hide. So if he drops down, it's basically like a shield, right? He gets blood of the rhino here, which gives him a little extra armor and 20% increase on the only heal you can give him. And so instead of it healing for like 50% of his health over 10 seconds, it's 70%. Plus, because he's actually counts as a ferocity pet, he gets the leech or the bloodlust here. So for just going out and soloing elites and stuff, get you one of these bad guys or gals. I've had mine since Burning Crusade. Mwah, I love you, Wooly, so much. We've been through so much together. And he's just a dream. I can't recommend him enough. If you're in a situation where you don't need the Mortal Strike in PvP, like, say, perhaps you have the ability just to blast people in one combo. Not saying you do. Then I actually do like a nice Bird of Prey because they have this ability called, right here, Talon Wren. It's basically a hamstring. I don't know if hamstring 50% or not. I think it is. So now you say, well, why would you need that if you're popping conch shots? Well, first off, if you just put the bird on someone and leave it on them, you can basically use your conch shot on one target and that bird will just stay on that person. If you're ever in a battleground, just put it on a demon hunter. It's just hilarious. Or a ret. A ret is so good. And it's kind of just fun to mess with them. But those are just some tips in regards to pets. But yeah, pretty much any Shadowlands pet advice is going to be the exact same. In closing, you've got 4 weeks to figure all this shit out. Don't let it get to you. There'll be plenty of guides, and we can just copy what all the good people do and do that. In the meantime, just chill. Keep queuing them BGs as always. A little friendly heads up. If you go out into these BGs with the starter gear, you're probably going to get fucking cracked. So you may have to farm up a little gear in BGs in order to get the full feel of your spec. But don't let it discourage you. Chins up. And let's get it on. See you guys out there. Oklahoma out.